Hello everyone, welcome back to Luke's Movie Talk, where I cover some of the most recent movies I've been watching. And for this video, we're looking at the new Adam Driver movie, 65, which is a dinosaur action movie. So, just before I get into that, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to keep up to date with all these reviews I keep doing. So, to start off, I'll go into the plot. And this film is basically about Adam Driver's character is basically a starship pilot, and he's taking this group of 20 people all in hypersleep to a new planet to try and, set up a new colony. And it's to basically fund his daughter's treatment because she's ill for some reason or another. And he's basically the pilot, and they end up crashing into an asteroid belt, and they end up crashing on a prehistoric Earth. So we find out that these humans are from another planet light years away, and they found Earth 65 million years ago when the dinosaurs were still roaming about, and they crash. Everyone dies except Adam Driver's Mills, and he ends up deciding, I'm just gonna kill myself. He goes to kill himself, and then he finds out that there's actually another survivor, a young girl called Koa, and they don't speak the same language, so they meet up, and they kind of have to traverse the landscape full of dinosaurs, and Driver's character finds out that the escape pod that separated from the front of the ship is still intact. So they have to traverse, I think it's 15 kilometres, all the way to the escape pod to try and get both of them off planet and get back to the home world where they're from. So basically the plot is them going on a journey, fighting off dinosaurs, and basically traversing the wildlife and all the horribleness that entails. And halfway through the film, they find out that the Earth is about to be hit by the asteroid that kills all the dinosaurs, so they're on a timer as well now, and they end up getting to the rocket and fighting off a big T-Rex-like dinosaur, and they fight that off. They get in the escape pod, they escape just as the asteroid hits, and the film ends with them drifting off into space. So this film is a fun ride. I had a lot of fun with it, really. There's not particularly a huge amount of plot or details to the plot. It's very specific with what it's trying to tell, and it does it really well. Adam Driver does a great job as the desperate pilot just trying to survive. So he lands, he thinks he's the only one there, and he's basically at the end of his tether. Like I said, he tries to kill himself at one point, and he finds a reason to live to protect this girl, Koa. And he's basically trying to get back to his family, even though we find out his daughter actually died in the 2 years he was on the trip. He can still get back to his wife and still live a good life. So he's just having a hard time, and it's just a survival trek for him. The story and plot are very simple, with getting to the escape pod and not getting eaten by all the dinosaurs. So there isn't much to it. It's just these two characters just trying to survive and escape the planet. There's not too much else to it. It's just that, but it's fun with what it does. It's simple, but fun and exciting all the same. And a lot of the dinosaurs are just trying to eat them, attack them for no particular reason. You don't actually see any herbivores or any brachiosauruses or any of them. It's basically all predators they come across, and they all attack them every time they see them, which is quite fun. It keeps the action and the atmosphere very tense. I love the environments, especially the swamp. So when they land on the planet, Mills lands in a swampy area. It's really cool. It's very dank and nasty, and a lot of the environment's very rocky and foresty, and it's very misty a lot of the time. You don't see what's going on, what's hidden behind every corner. It's a fun planet to be on because it's not very hospitable, and you don't know what's going to come after you. The CG for the dinos was good, along with their designs. So a lot of the time it's either in dark or in shadow or very fast paced. They don't stick on a lot of the dinosaurs too much, so if there were any issues, you don't see them. I didn't think that there were any issues. I thought they were really good CG for the dinosaurs, and the designs are very cool as well. So a lot of them weren't your particular looking dinosaurs, and not the generic ones. They had a lot of cool different designs. One's crawling all fours, one's running upright. There's a variety of different designs, which is cool. I love the sci-fi tech Driver's Mills uses, like the explosive marbles and the sensor sticks. So he's got a variety of different future-y tech stuff, like the little marbles that blow up. He's got these little beacons that go off when there's anything nearby. His rifle is like a kind of electric rifle. There's no actual bullets. It's kind of like bolts that pop out. Just all the tech in general is really cool, and it's a nice like mixture with the dinosaurs, because it's completely the opposite of it. So it's a nice mix of everything. I get a couple of good scares, like the dinosaurs pop out of nowhere, or like they're like backing off really silently, and there's a dinosaur right behind them and they don't even know. There's one moment where he's got a bit of a tech that's a sensor, and he's in a dark cave, and they use the little sensor like in the bottom of the screen, and you can see the dinosaur approach him, and he notices it, but they don't like draw attention to it. You're kind of in the dark with him, and I thought it was a really cool way to use the tech. Even though they cannot understand each other, the growing relationship between Mills and Koa was sweet and heartwarming. So we find out that Mills speaks like English and Koa speaks like another language. So a lot of the film, they have no idea what they're saying. Koa picks up some English, but I don't know if she actually understands it. But throughout the film, even though they don't understand each other, they do care and look after each other. And they grow a lot closer as they try and protect and help each other, which is nice to see. I enjoyed the added twist that they are on a timer with the dinosaur-killing asteroid arriving soon. So about halfway through, as I mentioned, they find out that the asteroid belt that they hit is actually part of the mega asteroid that destroys all the dinosaurs and hits Earth. And it's cool that it's not just, oh, we're having a little trek through the countryside now. No, they're on a timer. They have to get there quickly. And they literally just get out at the end. Like, if they'd gone like 10 seconds later, they would have been done for. While it was only brief, it was good to see Bill's life and backstory with his daughter. So we get to see his motivation and his way of thinking. Even though it was very brief, I got to see his backstory, which was a nice way to do it. Keep the dinosaur adventure like front and centre as well. While a basic plot may not work for some films, it worked really well here. So we get to the main plot, like he's going on his journey and they crash, and it's basically straight into it. They're on their journey and they're not mincing words or anything. They just get straight into it, and it's nice. It's very fast paced, and they don't sit about wasting time. It's like straight into the adventure, which I enjoyed. And then there's a couple of good laughs as well. Like as I mentioned, they don't understand each other, but they still have a laugh with each other. Misunderstandings, which was quite nice. And then a couple of the small nitpicky things, I thought that while I liked the dinosaur designs, I would have liked to have seen some more interesting ones, or even some herbivore ones I mentioned. Like a lot of them were all carnivores, trying to attack them every time. It would have been nicer to see them walk past like a brachiosaurus or something, just minding its own business and not trying to kill them. Like make it more of a peaceful setting instead of just constant like running away, which would have been nice to mix it up a bit. As I said, the environments were cool, but maybe a bit more than just a rocky area and a wooded area. Maybe if they got into like a Great Plains, like a big grassland, and they ended up in a chase scene with like a velociraptor or something, or I know that probably was around at the time, or some kind of dinosaur. But it would have been cool to maybe have a different than just the rocky area, but yeah. And then finally, it would have been cool if Koa had a bit more to do. So a lot of the time in the film is just Mills looking after her, and then Koa helping occasionally. But it would have been cool like to see her like pick up the gun, and, like go into a proper action mode, and then it would have been really cool to see them like helping each other out properly instead of Mills just kind of being the front man looking after her most of the time. But yeah, apart from these small nitpicky bits, I had a lot of fun with this film. I know a lot of people, a lot of critics aren't too fond of this film. I understand why. It's not particularly the most amazing cinematic experience, but I had a lot of fun with it. It's just a romping adventure with two people in the land of dinosaurs, which I had a lot of fun with. Sometimes you just need a simple film just to be fun. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this. If you enjoyed this film, make sure to like, subscribe to keep up to date with all future videos. And until next time, I will see you all later.